Hello there, fine people. I wanted to try something different and record a reflection that I wrote, so you have the option of reading or watching or both. So here we go. So this has been a tough weekend, and it's only Saturday, and I've wanted to ignore the reasons why it's tough, and I've given it a really, really good effort. I watched a horse movie, Black Beauty, and I made a cocktail of hot cider and butter and whiskey. Everybody should try that. I also ate copious amounts of Mexican food and pho, all the things you need in life. Then, while I was watching numerous episodes of My Drunk Kitchen, I started to understand why I needed to write. Firstly, because I'm a writer and it's what I do. That's all. Secondly, because maybe there are other people out there who feel similar to me on this day, and they want to know that they're not alone. Because that's what I like. I like to know I'm not alone in things. So yesterday marked the 1-year anniversary of me falling in love. I didn't know that was happening at the time. And I didn't really know that yesterday was the day for most of the last year. But a few days earlier in the week, I just knew that on this day, yesterday, that I fell in love. And in so many ways, this is a beautiful thing. Both the experience at the time and even remembering it a year later that it happened. Finding your heart stolen by someone, feeling yourself care for them more than anybody else, and wanting to just be in that person's life forever. That's no small step to take, and for me it felt like a quantum leap. And it still feels like a quantum leap. It's also a really painful experience to be remembering because I'm not in her life anymore, and I'm not in a position to care for her, and I know this day is probably harder for her than it is for me, and for many reasons. And I'm not convinced that I actually want to move on. And I feel stuck in the tension of having not recovered my heart from the relationship. And I really wish I could just fucking move on already. So if I could handle cliches, I'd probably say it's a bittersweet experience, but that makes me want to puke. So today marks the anniversary of me coming out, the year anniversary. I also had no idea that this would be the day that was marked, because at the time I didn't know I was actually coming out. Because like yesterday's event, I didn't know until a few days ago that today was the day that I flew out of the doors of the closet I'd been living in and started to find my place where I feel most at home. Yay! So last year on this day, I called 2 people. I called a really good friend of mine who's known me since I was born, and my brother. With my good friend, I called her up on the phone like this, and I said, "Good friend, I think I like girls." And then she laughed, and then I laughed, and then we talked, and there was no pressure for me to know if I was gay, if I wasn't gay, if I was straight, if I was bi, whatever. And that was really nice to know. Then I called my brother, who had already come out many years ago, and I said, "Brother, how did you know that you were gay?" And he, the pragmatic person that he is, said, "Well, I just used logic to figure it out, and I liked boys, not girls." And I was like, I'm not that logical. I'm still not that logical, or pragmatic, or whatever. But what I do know is on this day in 2011, I knew I was a lesbian. I just knew it. A few days later, I was processing that with another good friend, and I was talking about how much I hated the word lesbian and didn't want to say it, and he said, "Why don't you just try saying the word?" Which I didn't do, and then he's like, "Well, what does the word make you think of?" And I was like, cherry pie, which is really ironic, guys. And he well, I really hate cherry pie, so it's not a good synonymous thing to have. Uh, but it just took a few days after that I started to feel this amazing adrenaline rush of freedom, because I could just call myself, I could name myself lesbian, and then I wanted to tell everybody that I was a fancy ass fabulous lesbian. Um, and that was followed by some good experiences, some bad ones, and I thought I should take it slow, and I thought I did take it slow in coming out, but 2 months isn't slow. So, yeah, so much for that. Um, but it was on this day, and in that moment, when I declared with a shaky, panicked voice that I think I like girls, that for me marks the day I came out, and the day I stepped into the beautiful, sexy woman who loves other women that I am. So today I'm holding these 2 anniversaries together, and after a kind of a loaded week of Thanksgiving and job interviews and novel writing, um, I want it all to be too much to handle, because it's so painful to miss someone so much, and it's so hard to think of what my life might have been like if I hadn't made the phone call and voiced my inside feelings. I mean, I might be a seminary student for all I know. It's also really hard to want to celebrate. I've been wanting to celebrate all week, but today I'm too sad to make a celebration happen. I'm gay! Hooray! And I'm acutely aware that my heart is still broken. And a year ago, I had no idea I'd be in this place, on this journey, still fighting feelings of love for someone I can't be with. And I'm really wondering, where's the damn off switch for that? But mostly what I would like to say today is, here's to those bravely stepping out of their closets. May your journey involve Mexican food and spice.